club's completed 21 seasons and you've been involved for 19 of them, I think. What's kept you involved all that time?
Oh, again, I suppose my son playing and just the love of the club and the school involvement.
In all those years, what's been your greatest highlight?
Several, obviously the two premierships double premierships in 2004 and then the senior premiership in 2007. Another highlight would be the whole three of us, yourself, Mum and I, all having life memberships.
Ever thought about turning your hand to coaching?
I did 1 year as a coach when I was playing up at Officer, and that was enough for me.
What sort of a season was it? Any success in that year?
Well, we might have won one game, but the club had appointed a coach and he didn't really want to coach. So, yeah.
Who's the best player you've seen, do you think?
Yeah, that's a bit hard. I suppose the most talented player, I suppose, particularly in recent times, would have been Freddie Connors, but and we didn't see the best of him anyway because of injuries, but there's quite a few other players like Ben Hutton, Chris Hudson, and I think Swoop would have to be one of the most gifted players because of the way he sort of taps the ball around.
We have got pretty good facilities with the pavilion and the rooms and everything, and how does that compare with what you had in your playing days?
Oh. The players these days won't believe what I'm going to say because when I first started playing we didn't have any hot showers, we had a cold shower, then we got a chip heater which you used to have to light ourselves. The rooms had no windows, there was a galvanised iron shed with a bit of a gap along the front about 18 inches high and a couple of rows of barbed wire, concrete floor, nothing.
Now, Mum's been involved for a lot of years as well, possibly as many as you have been. Do you always see eye to eye on matters concerning the footy club?
Well, Mum's actually been involved more than me because you wouldn't let me come the first couple of years. You said if I come and watch you, you'd walk off the ground, and I think you're fed Ingham about it.
You played a lot of footy yourself a few years ago. Can you just give us a brief rundown on where you played and premiership success, if there was any, and what type of play you saw yourself as?
The only real success we had was in 1961 when we won the premiership. The umpires awarded the best on the ground to a centre-half back from the opposition team, and a couple of weeks later he told me he had something of mine at home. And I said, "What are you talking about, Johnny?" He said, "Oh, I got a ball that belongs to you." That year, that year I was trained at Eston. Great big fellow was the chairman select. He said, "Son, will you play in a back pocket?" And I said, "Oh, I don't know, I've never played it. I've always played in the centre." He said, "Well, we're going to play in the back pocket in the main game on Saturday," which was the last practice game before the season started. He said, "If you go well on Saturday," he said, "you're guaranteed a game in the first round." Wasn't to be because I went out and the chest was pumped up, took a mark over the captain who was Jack Clark, and as I come down from the mark I twisted my knee and hobbled off, and that was the end of my story with Essendon. I suppose I was a bit like Paulie Hudson. I was pretty hard at the ball all the time. I'd run through a brick wall, never give up, and I think it was my determination that kept me going.
Where do you see the club in 10, 20 years' time?
10 or 15 years, I hope we can get up to something like B grade in the Ammos, and I think the main thing is as long as we remain competitive, try and progress and create the family-friendly atmosphere and attract plenty of players.
Where do you find time to do anything else in your personal life?
You're setting me up here, trying to stir. Perhaps Mum should answer that question because she always tells me I spend too much time with footy and Rotary.
What advice would you give to any new players or members, families coming to Westbourne?
Any new players coming in, they just want to make sure that they get involved, help out where they can. If there's any suggestions for improvements or any concerns to raise them with the powers that be. And
Well, over your 19-year history of involvement with the footy club, you've done a hell of a lot. Many regard you as the heartbeat of the footy club. You're an absolute icon, and we thank you on behalf of, or I thank you on behalf of everyone involved in the club for what you've done for the footy club. So, and keep it going.
I'll try and keep it going as long as I can. I've had to back off the last couple of years because of my health, but at the moment that's okay, and I still think I've got a bit to contribute, and hope to see a few more seasons and a few more premierships.